Good morning, Golf and God. It has been an exciting last couple of weeks in golf. The weather here has been good. We've been able to play. And of course, on TV, we've seen the same people at the top of the leaderboard, and it's made for some great competition. So we'll talk a little bit more golf today. I want to talk a little bit golf and life today. We're in such an information world. I just got on the PGA's website. You can track stats, almost any particular stat that you want, and it gets a little bit overwhelming, and especially when you're looking into your life, your golf game, and how you want to improve. And there's so much instruction out there, and there's so much. So let's just take a look at this real quick. I want to talk to you today about the one thing that you can do in your life, in your spiritual life, in your golf game. When we get so much information coming at us at one time that we lose the ability to process it all. And so I want you to start focusing on the one thing. I follow a pastor, and he preaches at least an hour and sometimes more. And the amount of information that is in his sermons is tremendous. And it's all impactful. It's all applicable. But you can only consume, digest, and reproduce so much in your life. And your golf game is like that. The swing, you can break your swing down into so many different components. And if you try to focus on all those at one time, it's disastrous. So you focus on one thing. Okay, today I'm going to go out, I'm going to focus on my follow through, because I've learned that my follow through actually controls more of the direction of the ball in my swing than any other aspect that I can do. So for a while I was working on distance, and now I'm working on accuracy, and so I'm really going to focus today when I'm playing my practice round. I'm really going to focus on my follow through, and I think life is exactly the same way. There's so much good information out there now, whether you're in business or you're in leadership or sales or social media marketing, whatever your job, your occupation, or your interest. There's so much information out there. How do we consume it all? How do we replicate it, spit it out, reproduce it? It's crazy as we go through this. So I want to share a couple of verses with you real quick. And this is kind of where this whole topic came from. Psalm 27:4, it says, David says, "One thing I have asked of the Lord." And then later in Psalm 62:11, he says, "One thing God has spoken." And so I don't know, that phrase, that one thing, really stuck out to me this week. And so I know a lot of us listen to podcasts now and watch YouTube videos, and besides just going to church. And it can be consuming and overwhelming to try to apply everything into your life at once. And so I want to encourage you to just apply one thing. Take one thing and do that. We've all heard that, if you change your lifestyle for 30 days or 60 days, you develop a habit. And I think that can apply in so many different aspects of our life, in our golf game, in our spiritual life. There's just so much opportunity there if we're not feeling overwhelmed. And so I really want to encourage you to take one thing from Sunday's service, or one thing from your Bible study, your devotion, one thing from your small group, one thing from your podcast. And you can see this across the board in the PGA now that they're tracking stats all over. So putting percentage, you can look at your stats and you can look at that and you can say, okay, Patrick Reed is at the top almost all the time across the board in putting percentage accuracy. So look at Patrick Reed. What are some of the things that he does that's different than everybody else, or that's the same as everybody else that's in the top 10 as you go through there? But you can also see that Patrick Reed is not at the top of the board in green accuracy. When they're hitting the green from anywhere from 100 to 200 yards out. That guy, Matthew Neesmith, is at the top. What is he doing? What is he doing? So you can idolize one golfer, whether it be Justin Thomas or Bryson DeChambeau. I mean, the popular names. But if you really want to improve your game, look at the guys who are doing the one thing that you need to work on. And that would really, really help. Look at the guys that are doing the one thing you need to work on. And I think we can apply that in our spiritual life. There are gifted authors and gifted pastors who are maybe more in tune with where you're at in your life. And you have to find those. And you find those individuals, and then because their sermons, their style might fit a little bit better with you and how you relate and how you hear things, how you apply things. And it's really important. So I'm going to encourage you that if you're in a church or you're watching a pastor and things aren't quite clicking for you, find the one that is clicking for you. Find the one thing that works for you. And if you are in an area where you don't really have a choice, listen in that message, listen in that passage, listen in that sermon, and find the one thing that you can get on and focus for that week as you go through there. I think that was the phrase that really stuck out to me this week was one thing. What's one thing that you can get out of? And are you working on that one thing? And I put that post on social media earlier this week, and I saw it from Jason Capital. I said, what's the one thing that if you accomplish this week would make your whole week worthwhile? And that was pretty cool. That was pretty impactful. That sets the tone for your whole week and really keeps you focused as you go through there. So in your golf game, I want to encourage you, focus on one thing and then move on to the next. When you feel like you have that down where you want it, focus on one thing. In your spiritual walk, in your devotions, in your Bible study, when you're watching a sermon, focus on and apply one thing, one principle that really stands out. And watch what happens this next week in your life. And anyways, that's all I have for you this morning. Go out and play some golf. You guys have a good day.